Hi everyone, this is chapter 3 Trigonometry session 1. Trigonometry is primarily a branch of mathematics that deals with triangles, mostly right angle triangles. In particular, the ratios and the relationship between the triangle sides and angle. It has two main ways in geometry applications and in analytical part. It's a branch of mathematics that deals with a triangle, mostly with right triangles, used in finding relationship between sides and angles. In geometry application, it is mainly used to solve triangles, usually right triangles. That is given some angles and side length. We can find some or all others. In analytically, trigonometric ratios such as sine, tangent are used as function in equations and are manipulated using algebra. Trigonometry. Here, the red part is triangle. Trigonometry. Trigono means it is a triangles, and the blue part here is the measure. In trigonometry is one of the most feared topics in mathematics, but in reality it is extremely simple. If you consider this triangle, ABC, let A be the length. Let A be the length of side opposite angle, that is capital letter A. Similarly, the B and C be the length of the side opposite angle, this B and this angle C. These are the only 6 things we deal with in trigonometry. These are the only 6 things, that is angle A, angle B, angle C. Angle A, angle B and angle C, and the side A, B, C. Sides are A, B, C. Here trigonometry deal with only right angle triangle. Trigonometry deal with the only right angle triangle, that is trigono triangle, measuring of the triangles. The right angle triangle. Trigonometry is all about the right angle triangle. Right angle triangle is also called as right triangle, or is a triangle with 90-degree in it. This is what the 90-degree is. Little square. This is a little square in the corner tells us it is a right angle triangle. The other angle we notice here is theta. We call it as theta. The side or opposite the right angle, which longest side is called hypotenuse. Here, which is the longest side. This is the longest side. Hypotenuse is the longest side. The side opposite the right angle, that is right angle, is this right angle. Opposite to the right angle is, which is the longest side, is called hypotenuse. Longest side is called hypotenuse. The side opposite to theta is called the adjacent. This is what the theta is. The side opposite to theta is called, the opposite of theta is this part, that is called opposite. That we call it as opposite. Is trigonometry is all about the right angle triangles, or we call it as right triangle. The side next to theta, which is not hypotenuse, is also called as adjacent. The side next to theta which is not hypotenuse is called, that is the side opposite to theta. This is what the theta is. Next, why is this triangle is so important? That is, right angle triangle is so important. Means imagine we can measure along and up but want to know the direct distance and angle. Trigonometry can find that missing angle and distance. The missing can find this missing angle. So the trigonometry is important. If we can measure along and up but want to know the direct distance and angle, so the trigonometry is very important in finding the missing angle and distance. Angles. Angle is the figure formed by two rays called side of the angle sharing a common endpoint called the vertex. This is what the vertex is. It is formed by two rays. This is one ray and it is another ray. It's called the side of the angle sharing a common endpoint. This is a point. That is, we call it as vertex. Vertex of the angle. Original ray is called the initial side and the final position of the ray after rotation is called terminal side. If the direction of rotation is clockwise, if the direction of the rotation is anti-clockwise, then the angle is said to be the positive angle. It is in a clockwise direction. It is in clockwise direction. If the angle is said to be -1, if the direction of the rotation is clockwise, it is clockwise, we call it as negative angle. The direction of rotation is anti-clockwise, then the angle is said to positive. What is vertex? Vertex is what is the vertex? It is what the original ray, here the initial side and the final position is given. The vertex of the angle is the figure formed by two rays, right? It is called the side of the angle, that is initial side and terminal side sharing a common endpoint is called the vertex of the angle. And there is a positive angle and negative angle. If the direction of rotation is anti-clockwise, then we call it as positive. Otherwise, if it is clockwise, then we call it as negative. Let's move on to the degree measure. Degree is usually denoted by it is a degree, that way small 2 pi radian. 2 pi radian. Full rotation is 2 pi radian. That is, what is pi? That is 180 degree. 2 into pi, that is 360 degree. Degree measures. Then here 1 degree is equals 60 minutes. In degree measure, 1 degree is equals 60 minutes and 1 minute is equals, we know that, 60 second. Let's move on to the radian measure. A radian, it is a pure measure based on the radius of the circle. It is a pure measure based on the radius of the circle. 1 radian is angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc that is equal to the length of radius. We know the radius here. It is equal to this arc length of the arc length, that is equal. 1 radian is the angle subtended at the center of a circle by an arc that is equal in length to the radius of the circle. Here next is the if in a circle of radius r, if a radius r and as a arc of length L subtend at an angle theta, the radius at the center we will have theta is equal to L. This is one of the formula. One of the formula we have, that is r means it is a radius of a circle, L represent the length, and theta is the angle, theta radian. Next, relationship between degree and radian. Here, if you want to convert the degree to radian, it is clearly shown here. We will multiply it by pi into 180. That is, if you want to convert a degree into radian, we will multiply to pi into 180 degree, and if you want to convert radian into degree, we will multiply it by 180 divided by pi, or 180 divided by pi into radian measure, or to convert degree to radian, multiply by pi in divided by 180 into what, radian degree measure. This is the relationship between the degree and radians. 180 degrees equals pi radian. So 1 radian will get 180 degree divided by pi. The main function in trigonometry. The main function in trigonometry are sine, cosine and tangent. There are still more functions, but the main function in trigonometry will use sine, will say sine, cosine and tangent. The three are the main functions. They are simply one side of a right angle triangle divided by another. That is sine, cosine, tangent. Sine theta is what? Opposite by hypotenuse. Opposite by hypotenuse. Cos theta is equals adjacent by hypotenuse, and tan theta is equals opposite by adjacent. These are the main functions in trigonometry. And let us take one example. How tall is the tree? Here, how tall is the tree? We can't reach the top of the tree, right? So we walk away, measure an angle using the protractor and the distance using a laser. Better way to find the height, of the tree or height here is trigonometry. So trigonometry is so important. Let assume base is known. See, this base is known for us. Remember, it's always easier to find the distance length on the ground than finding the distance vertically, that is the height. Vertically, the distance from the height, that is vertically it is. So that is, we know the distance, the ground distance, that is the angle is sine 45 degree. In the previous slide we learned what is sine. That is sine is equals opposite by hypotenuse. Cos is equals adjacent by hypotenuse. Tan is equals what, opposite divided by adjacent. Here sine, we know the ground distance, that is 45 angle, that is equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse here? The hypotenuse is 20. So easily we will get what is opposite sine 45 degree we will get. So we can easily calculate the distance vertically, the height of the tree. And the other functions of the trigonometry are cotangent, secant and cosecant. It is simply a reciprocal of that main function, that is sine and cosine and tangent. Here cosecant is equals hypotenuse divided by opposite. Cosecant, in the main function you have studied that sine function is equals opposite divided by hypotenuse. It is exactly the reciprocal of the sine function. So cosecant function is equals hypotenuse divided by opposite. Where the secant function is equals, the next is the secant function is equals hypotenuse divided by adjacent. That is the exactly the same as the cosine function. We can call it as also cos function. It is adjacent by hypotenuse. Your secant function is hypotenuse divided by adjacent. Next is the cotangent functions. It is same as the tangent. It is the reciprocal of tangent. There we can see opposite by adjacent. Here the adjacent by opposite. Here cotangent, or we can call it as cot function. Cot function. Secant, we can call it as sec function, and cosecant function we can cosec. These are the some basic functions of the trigonometry. The main function is sine, cos and tan, and other functions we can take it as cosecant, secant and cotangent functions. In this session we have learned till here. The next session will go to the trigonometry, sign of the trigonometry and the trigonometric equations. Thank you.